I had a great time. Please tell your parents good night for me, okay?
Good night.
Good night.
Tell me you're not seeing that guy, are you, Millie?
Yes, but I don't...
Actually, the yes is all I need to know.
No, but the but part's really important, too.
But what? Not him.
Why?
Because he looks like some guy your mother would love.
Johnny, wait, though. This is really difficult for me, and I've never been here before. I don't know how to navigate this.
Oh, poor thing.
Don't talk to me that way.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was I thinking? You're involved with this guy to the point where you're meeting his family, and I should be careful how I'm talking to you? Are you sleeping with him?
I wouldn't say it that way.
Well, what way would you say it? Are you gonna stop seeing him? That pause says it all.
No, it doesn't. That's not true. That's not true.
Who are you? I can't even look at you.
I ain't gonna lie, babe. I don't think we're gonna be able to go out to eat no more.
Why not?
Because I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? My pockets is looking a little bit low right now. I had a lot of stuff to pay for, so I ain't got no money on me to take you out to eat.
Alright, I mean, that's not a problem. We can go. We can still go. I got you.
Wait, I'm saying though, but I don't have no money to pay for the food.
I'm gonna pay for it, baby. You always pay for the food. Come on, let's go.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I want to eat out today.
I really don't want you to be spending your money on me.
Baby.
I'd rather have me pay for it, but I don't got no money for me to pay for it right now,
Hey,
so.
you always do the treating. I'm gonna treat you, okay? It's no problem at all. Let's go. I'm hungry.
You hungry?
I got you, babe.
I just want to make sure.
There's nothing wrong with me paying for our food. Come on.
I don't know if I'm just making this up or if it's just my intuition, but I have this feeling that the guy I'm seeing at the moment, he's getting off and having his little ego stroked by the fact that his housemates have heard us. I don't know if it's legit or not, but there's just some things that I'm just questioning. Like, he never tells me if there's other people in the house, and he never tells me to keep it down or anything like that. And when I ask, are there people here? He'll say no at times, but then there are. And then when we go downstairs, they kind of make these weird eye contact with each other and they're like, And it's a very boy club because it's a bunch of dudes living in a house together. And he seems insecure, like it seems like it's like an ego thing, but I'm not too sure. But it's weird and I don't know.
So I just watched a video of a girl where she said that she got very humbled because she went on a date with a guy, and she said on the text messages he was very flirty. In real life, when they met, he wasn't as forward, and that the date went really well. She said they were out for 2 hours, they went for a walk, they went for a coffee, and then she said she bluntly just asked him, why is he more flirty on text messages than he is in real life? He then humbles her and he says, I think you're a very pretty girl, however, you do look a little bit different than your pictures. That's my opinion now, but I have enjoyed our date, but I do think it's more of a friendly vibe. All the comments are roasting this guy, being like, oh, but he's a walking red flag, you dodged a bullet there, and all this, right? I don't see anything wrong in what he's done. He's been very polite about it. He's went on the date with you, and you've asked him a question, and he's told you the truth. But because it's an answer that you don't want to hear, you then come to TikTok for loads of people to then roast this guy, when, fair enough, you haven't put a picture of him up, thank God, but he's done the right thing. Some guys, I've heard stories where they'll meet up with someone and they'll leave them in a bar or a restaurant. Some people I know have driven off from people when they've just been stood there waiting. That's the wrong way to deal with it. How this guy handled it, I think, was correct, in my opinion. And I know this because I once used to use a lot of filters on dating apps, and when I met up with a guy once, you could tell he was not interested at all. And then he texted me and he was like, I think you look a little bit different in your pictures. I was humbled. I never used proper full-on filters ever again. I might use like a smoother filter or a tan filter, but I never used one that made me look like a completely different person because I was humbled. And how that guy done it and how this guy done it was perfectly correct. So I don't know why, I just don't get with the comments why women are so against when people tell the truth.
A few men express worry that cutting-edge women's rights and ladies' developing jobs have presented disarray and an apparent decreasing of conventional orientation jobs. They argue that women are placing an increasing emphasis on independence and careers. Men have traditionally been the primary caregivers in this conventional family structure, which is being disrupted. They believe that as men and women struggle to adjust to new responsibilities and expectations, this transformation results in relationship dissatisfaction.
A lot of guys are socially awkward.
I think you're a bit ignorant to like the average guy's experience. Consider this, right? The average guy today, his granddad had to put in a quarter of the work to get the kind of woman that is 4 times as amazing as the woman he's attracted.
Oh, are you talking? You're talking
like his grandmother was an amazing woman and a very, very feminine, natural woman, and his granddad really didn't have to do the kind of work he has to do right now as a young man in the Western world.
So you're talking about hoflation.
Yes, it's hoflation.
Hoflation. So modern men have to work 5 times harder than their grandfathers did for women 20 times worse than what their grandmothers were.
It's true. It's actually true.
If you are single and you are in the dating marketplace at that time, when that happens, say you're 37, 36, 38, 40, whatever it may be, and you are still on the hunt for that man, and you hit the wall and you can see in your face that you are no longer the face that you were at whether it was 30 or 35 or 25, whatever it is, you are going to be panicked. Because now you know that you are going to compete with women who are younger, who are largely more fertile, not always, but largely speaking, yes, who have that youthfulness to them, who have that estrogen, progesterone, whatever the hormonal balance is that makes someone young, it's there, and you're losing it. And you become hyper aware of that, and that is why women begin to panic.
You know what I want to talk about, you guys? So I live in New York, specifically Brooklyn, and I be outside, enjoying summer as I should. And I've been going to the block parties, all of that good stuff, the day parties has been a time. But the problem is the men just stare at you. They just stare at you the whole time. They don't approach you. They don't want to get to know you. They don't want to, oh, do you want to drink? It's just a staring contest the whole time. I'm trying to figure out, how am I supposed to meet my future husband if the men are not approaching? Because I'm not approaching a man. Like, it's giving the men want to be chased now. That's what it's giving, and I don't like it.
Because if I could explain to anybody how lonely pregnancy is, I can't put it into words. I'm just so frustrated with how I feel. Now you're saying
you let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you're a single mom. Now you're a single mom.
Most men will only experience unconditional love from their mothers, and some of us don't even get that. Most of us have never even felt appreciation or respect without conditions or hidden intentions. We don't know what it sounds like to hear, I see you, and I'm proud of you. I'm glad you're here. You really make a difference, yet the expectation is to constantly be displaying the strength and love that the world is hesitant in conveying. We're expected to have a thick skin but get judged if it turns to a hard shell. The first step in being a man is ignoring the hunger. Because yes, boy, you're going to be starving. Starved of attention, starved of affirmation, starved of love, starved of being told that you are enough. Step 2 in being a man is comfortability with replaceability. You are only as good as you are useful. You are only as valuable as you are needed by others. Should there ever come a day, boy, where you fail to provide everybody with a smiling face, then do not be surprised when they say all men do is take up space.
Men fumble the women that ask for things that cost nothing, like time, attention, affection, honesty, communication. Like, that may seem like it's too much to ask, but in a world full of begging females today, if you have that type of female that's asking for things that money cannot buy, and you fumble her, you will regret it. You will miss her, I promise you will. It may seem like too much now, but when she's not there to ask for it anymore,
I absolutely love when these kind of black males say stuff like, oh, we don't date black women. No, hun, black women don't date you. Because let's just keep it a buck, let's just keep it honest. The black males that act like they don't date black women are just the black males that black women have passed up on for years because something is wrong with them.
People meet people nowadays. Being a single gal in a single world, where do I go if I don't want to go on dating apps? I don't like dating apps. I've had them. I've tried them. I get disappointed. I get discouraged. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Dating apps If you're gonna think this person is attractive, you're probably gonna swipe yes. And if you don't find them attractive, you're gonna swipe no. But sometimes people just aren't photogenic. They just don't present themselves well through photos. That's why I just feel like it's so much better to meet people in person. Also, just like with having dating apps, like it just feels forced. And I don't want it to feel forced. I wanna like go out in public, meet someone like in the wild, both just happen to bump into each other and you're like, and then, you know, sparks fly. I just want to know where. Like, where do the single men go? Where are you going? Where are you hanging out? Like, if you're in the garage, like, come out. Like, are you at the lake? Are you snowmobiling? Are you fishing? It's wintertime. What are you doing right now? It's funny. How am I this amazing? Like, and single? Like, are you kidding me? And like, for the longest time, I just like wasn't worried about it. At this point, I'm like, I'm 31. What is happening? Like, is there just no one left? Put me on a dating show. The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Love Island. I don't even care. Just put me somewhere so I can actually like interact with the male race. I'm not interacting with males. Anyways,
love comes to you when you least expect it. Shut up. I have been trying to not expect it for like 6 years. And also, I was speaking to my friend the other day, and she was like, well, like, are you, like, trying to, like, go out of your way to meet people? And I'm like, no, because people are fucking telling me that it comes when you least expect it. So here I am, like, trying to convince myself I don't want it, and I'm just not expecting it so I can get it, and it's not happening. But then even when I go out of my way to, like, go on dating apps, it just never works because these people that I'm meeting aren't my cup of tea, are not wanting what I want. They just want a casual thing. And like, as someone who's never been in any kind of romantic entanglement, my first relationship is not gonna be a fucking casual relationship. And yeah, so like, what one is it? Should I put myself out there, or should I just pretend that I'm not like, oh, I don't want a boyfriend?
I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to find someone that makes them happy. I want everybody to live a beautiful life that they want for themselves. I don't wish ill on anybody, but I can't stand the delusion. Now we all got to sit here and we got to be like, oh yeah, this is great. You know, this is somebody who could get 95% of guys. And imagine going through life with that sense of delusion. Like, we see it, and this is an extreme example, but when women walk around like that, imagine walking around thinking, I could get 95% of guys. How many guys are you telling no to because you think you're better than them? Are you? Or is it in your head? Just think about it. If you don't want to wind up alone, you have to have a realistic assessment of what you bring to the table, of your looks, of your capabilities, of what you're willing to do in a relationship, of your character. All of it.
In Germany, if you did not know, it's really common here for when two people go on a first date that they split the bill. So like, the woman pays her portion and the man pays his portion. And the other thing about that is that on the date, you're only going to pay for what you consume. So let's say I got a margarita for $8 and he just got water, you know, free water. When the total bill comes out, it's very common for the man or whoever to be like, hey, I didn't drink that margarita, so I don't want to split it like that. I want to pay for what I ate. So I went to the internet to try to figure out why is it like this, you know, because this is not like how it is in America. It's very different. And apparently I can't read because I can't come to understand why. So you telling me you asked me out on a date. You told me I was beautiful. You invited me out to dinner. You're telling me how much you want to marry me and you want me to have your first children. And you tell me when the waiter comes out with the bill, after you said you was going to build a house with your own bare hands for me, and the waiter comes out with the bill and you look at me like this. So are you going to pay? What?
A man will lose interest when he sees that he is trying way harder than you. It literally doesn't matter how pretty you are, how happy you are, how successful and confident you are. You will lose him simply because you are not giving him any effort.
These men suggest that the shift away from traditional roles has made relationships more uncertain, and that both genders are having trouble juggling career goals and family life. Men believe that the redefining of roles has made it harder for them to strike a harmonious balance, which could result in interpersonal conflict and unfulfilled expectations. According to them, the familiar dynamics that once guided interactions and responsibilities within families are no longer as clearly defined or valued, which has left them struggling to navigate their relationships.
Women, the state of men. You know how you say it ain't no good men? Okay, that's fine. It's your fault though. Yeah, I said it because you keep giving them passes when they ain't worth nothing. So if you marry them and they ain't worth nothing, why would they become anything better? I don't care. They didn't have a job, you slept with them. That's your fault. They weren't taking care of their other children, and you thought they were gonna take care of your baby? That's your... They're not gonna become better if you give them your... I ain't just sure. Why become better when I'm already getting what I want? Hear me, in Hollywood right now, the writers have went on strike because they ain't getting paid. You know what we need? We need women to go on. Y'all ain't... No, if you ain't got a job, if you ain't consistent, if you ain't got character, you ain't...
This is a cut video where they try and guess each other's IQ, and this girl judges this guy for having a low IQ.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 6. It has nothing to do with your background. I don't think you really have the highest EQ out of all of us. Not taking in other people's point of views and compiling results, but really just came down to his body language, his demeanor, the way he carried himself, the way he acted towards the group. Me, I don't know. PhD, cancer biology scientist. I work in a biotech company. We make 19 testing kit.
Number 3 will be Tyler, and number 4 would be Shada. Number 5 is Sean, and number 6 is Mike.
Reminds me of this famous quote, "Never confuse education with intelligence. You can have a PhD and still be an idiot."
Girls are not sweet. Girls are not sweet. Whoever told you that, don't be naive. As much as, we bash men, because we have this thing where it's in fashion to bash men and be like, men are all assholes. They will lie to you, they'll play you, they'll manipulate situations, they will portray a certain image, they will suck you in to a reality that doesn't even exist.
There are certain men that women like and adore and admire publicly, and there are certain men that women like and adore and admire privately. Now, it's very important to distinguish these two or differentiate between these two, and here's why. There are certain nice guy personality traits, and you're going to see these types of mannerisms with guys specifically that do well on social media. They are the guys who are smiling ear to ear, showing lots of personality, and these oftentimes are the guys who women will comment a bunch of stuff underneath their posts and whatnot. But here's what I can tell you. There's a polar opposite type of guy that women like privately, and here's what I mean. Oftentimes the guy that she's actually sleeping with, she might not even follow on social media. The guy who her heart is completely invested in, she might not even want to see what he's up to because it creates different thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Or on top of that, because she has such a strong admiration or love for him, she might even be worried about judgment as to how that's perceived with her other friends or her family or anybody who knows her if she were to admit that she actually likes that guy. Sad truth is that there's a lot of bad boy traits that women gravitate towards that they don't even talk about because these are the types of men that they like privately, not publicly.
I am only attracted to wealthy, generous men who provide for me. That's all I've ever dated in my entire life. It's all I ever would. I'd rather be single than split bills.
What are you bringing to the table besides your body to these men who are taking care of you?
You'd have to ask them.
I'm asking you.
I don't know. You'd have to ask them. They're the ones who want to date me.
So from your perspective, what do you bring?
Me.
So what does that mean?
I mean, you'd have to ask someone who loves me why they love me. I'm not a mind reader.
No, I'm not asking you to be a mind reader. I'm just asking, you are on the other end of this relationship. I assume you know what you bring to the table of the relationship, right?
Somebody loves me, and I love them, then I keep dating them. I don't really worry about the why.
So you don't know what you bring to the table?
I don't really give it that much consideration.
Essentially, you're just giving them sex, and in exchange, they're giving you money, and that's it?
Hopefully not.
Well, then what else is there?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them.
In the past, men were thought to be the primary breadwinners, and women were thought to be the primary caregivers. Each gender had a distinct place in the family. However, these traditional roles are changing as more women pursue careers in higher education. Women are now significantly increasing household incomes and, in some instances, earning more than their male partners. In addition to providing women with greater financial benefits and empowerment, this change poses a challenge to the established dynamics to which many people have been accustomed for a long time. The redefinition of these jobs can make new assumptions and obligations, prompting changes in how all kinds of people explore their jobs inside the family. Subsequently, the overall influence and obligations inside families is changing, provoking a reassessment of what relational peculiarities resemble in present-day culture.
My shit first, so I don't know why you
get all your stuff and get out.
He wasn't the one to say that shit.
Deuces.
Deuces to you, bitch.
Yeah, get out. You already kicked out. I'm going back to Angie.
No, you not.
Yeah, I'm going back to Angie.
No, you not.
Your stuff and go. Angie's coming back.
No.
You know, she lasted probably, 5 days? You know, a week, 7 days. And she's already tooted and booted.
I would go to these frat parties, I would guys, whatever. There was this one night though, and I was like, hey, you know, I talked to them all individually. I'm like, hey, so I'm gonna just be waiting in this closet. I don't even care about the party. I'm gonna be waiting in this closet. It's their laundry room, and just like come in whenever and f me. Like I'll just sit here and be like a human doll basically.
So anyone, you didn't care who?
No, I didn't. I was like, just I'll be in this closet. Like come fuck me if you want. If you get home. I was on birth control. I let them all come at me.
Huh? She belongs to the streets. Something is wrong with you.
Did I ask you to wash the dishes?
Man, I come from Jamaica for wash dishes and wash car. I come from Jamaica for make money.
Yeah? Well, I'm working, and I asked you to wash the dishes. Were you still interested in your green card?
Yeah, babes, I'm going to wash a plate them right now.
Yeah. That's what I thought. And wash my car when you're done, too.
Okay, babe.
When you make your claims or you shoot your shots and a woman comes down and she marries you without even trying to get to know you, you're saying to yourself, I hit the jackpot, but sometimes you didn't hit the jackpot. What you're going to find when you finally arrive wherever foreign country you want to be at is that a lot of you are going to be married to people who are mentally ill. Now, not to be disrespectful or anything, but in our country they'll say mad. So you marry a woman and when you're in Jamaica, you're on your best behavior, or she's on her best behavior until you reach. And some of you, after you arrive in these foreign countries, you wish that you had stayed in Jamaica and suffered because the hell they put you through. So here's what I'm saying to you. If you're going to go on these impromptu, marital agreements, please know that when you go to foreign, you have to be prepared to walk some dogs. You have to be prepared to wash some underwear. Now, Jamaican men, that's not to say that they won't do these things for their partner, but they don't want to be forced to do it. And a lot of men, when they arrive, they realize that they have to sleep in the same bed with dogs. So a lot of men, after they go through the immigration process and they arrive and they're so excited when they come, they stumble upon what appears to be prison.
Green Card Bros.
The attention on profession and freedom frequently prompts clashes over family obligations and the harmony among work and everyday life. In double-pay families, the two accomplices might encounter pressure and time requirements, bringing about conflicts over who ought to oversee homegrown obligations. Women may struggle to balance their career goals with family obligations, while men may feel pressured to take on more responsibilities at home. This can prompt disappointment and disdain on the two sides, as each accomplice might feel overpowered and unsupported in their jobs. Furthermore, a few men see that the strengthening of ladies has prompted unreasonable assumptions and connections. They might have the impression that it is expected of them to support their partner's careers and goals, while still fulfilling traditional male roles, like being the primary breadwinner. As both men and women navigate shifting expectations without clear guidelines or a defined framework, this evolving dynamic can contribute to a sense of instability and dissatisfaction. Couples may find it difficult to maintain harmony as they adjust to these new roles in the relationship due to the resulting tension.
Men always just want virgins that hadn't had sex with anyone and are really good girls. Like, you want younger women as well, so it's like that whole predator vibe. So
what if I said women are stupid, can't make money, short, and weak because they want a guy that makes more money than them, taller than them, more confident, ambitious, etc.? That would be ludicrous, wouldn't it? We don't shame female preferences. Okay? When a woman says, I want a man that's tall, makes money, etc., You go, girl, you deserve it. That's your preferences. If I say, I want a girl that's not a hoe, that has some sexual temperance, isn't going to embarrass me when I walk in a room, beautiful, young, etc. That's considered, oh, that's toxic and masculine. We demonize male preferences, but we don't demonize female preferences.
So what about the women that didn't choose to raise a kid on their own?
Of the 50+% divorce rate, women are filing 70-80% of all divorces. Women are choosing to wreck their own homes every day. Men are not choosing to wreck their own homes and make women single parents. That's a choice that women are making.
Why? Because their husbands are trash, treating them badly?
Now here we go with the ad hominem stuff. This is the same stuff that's been piped into the culture forever. That when a woman chooses to break her home, it's always the man's fault.
The MGTOW movement began as a direct result of dissatisfaction with contemporary relationships. Traditional relationships are often avoided by men who are wary of emotional distress and prioritize self-preservation instead. Men should avoid the potential heartache that can come with marriage and commitment, according to the movement, and instead prioritize their own independence and well-being. These men seek to shield themselves from emotional turmoil and retain control over their lives by withdrawing from relationships they perceive to be risky. In a world where traditional roles and expectations are rapidly shifting, they prefer to concentrate on achieving their own objectives rather than navigating the complexities of contemporary relationships.
My stepdad was my top subscriber on my naughty website. Now I know what you're all thinking, oh, stepdad fantasy, could have made content from it, blah blah blah. This man had been in my life since I was 11 years old and spent $2,000 on custom content every single video that I sent out. When I caught him, he denied it to all of his friends, and obviously my mum got rid of him straight away. But yeah, if you want to talk about family trauma, my stepdad watched me have sex with my partner for 2 months.
I believe, the man is supposed to be the breadwinner.
Okay.
I would like to talk about, maybe having a weekly allowance or something.
How much was the how much So how much is a weekly allowance?
Like my last relationship, he was giving me like $2,000-3,000 every week.
Isn't it funny how some women associated providing men with money and money only? Whatever happened to a man providing information, education, guidance, advice, or even behavior improvement? Do you know why some women consider a man giving them money being the provider of the relationship? Because that is the only thing they would accept from a man. A lot of modern women, they don't want no guidance. They don't want to be told that they need to do better as the female in that relationship. How could that woman from the previous clip, I'm not judging her, how could she be an asset to his life? How can she bring improvement to his life? Actually goes for a lot of women out there. A lot of women, they are so cool and so content with spending a man's money that he clearly works hard for and don't even pack the man's lunch. Girl, please. These women, they don't even want to master the basics in a relationship. They don't want to cook, they don't want to clean, they don't want to do none of that. They just want to sit there, be pretty, and spend the man's money. And what kind of world do you live in, honestly? And especially, what are you going to do when you get old? Whose money are you going to spend then? You're going to be alone and ugly.
Here is the custom content that my stepdad was requesting on my naughty site. Like I said in a previous video, we messaged every single day on the website and he would make requests almost every single day.
Every day? This gives a whole new meaning to every day I'm suffering.
One of them was to see the underwear that I was wearing every day. At the time I was working still, so I was out of the house 5 days a week, and he would ask for pictures in the bathroom or the change rooms of wherever I was. He also requested that when I was filming solo content at home that I would not do it in the bathroom or in the shower. He always wanted it to be on my bed or on the floor of my bedroom, which, mind you, he had access to this room every single day.
Some men have been led to believe that women are less interested in long-term relationships and more interested in casual interactions as a result of the sexual liberation movement, which is a component of contemporary feminism. Men's skepticism about the possibility of lasting relationships can be fueled by this perception, which can lead them to believe that women are less suitable for serious, committed relationships.
So last night I ended things with a guy that in one of my previous videos I had referred to as the most intentional man I've ever spoken to. It really does suck because he truly is amazing, has a lot of the things I'm looking for in a person, but we hung out like 6 or 7 times and I just wasn't feeling it. And it's just really a shame because he really is a great guy. If he had asked me for more details, I really don't know that I would have been able to give him many besides that shame, but there's really nothing you can do. It's just the name of the game.
Now look at the difference between these two women.
For better,
For better,
For worse,
for worse,
for richer,
for richer,
for poorer.
for poorer.
We hit that snag about 20 times in counseling. Real made it very clear to Jonathan, you cannot be broke. In sickness. And in health.
And in health.
To love.
To love.
Cherish.
Cherish.
And to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling. Yes, we did. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
All right.
I'll forever submit to you, Miles. I'll forever respect you, Miles. I'll forever honor you, Miles, as the head of our home. In heaven, they hear. On earth, I declare and decree, I shall be a submissive wife unto you.
I don't know about you, but I know which one.
People who hold to traditional values have resisted cultural shifts toward gender equality. Some modern women are unfairly labeled as worthless as a result of women's efforts toward equality and empowerment, which can be seen as a threat to men's traditional roles. This response reflects a struggle to adapt to society's shifting expectations and comes from a sense of dissatisfaction with the shifting dynamics of relationships and gender roles. The tension demonstrates how difficult it is to strike a balance between advancing gender equality and maintaining established norms. The push for orientation equity challenges long-standing cultural standards, leaving a few men having a dubious outlook on their parts in this evolving scene. Recognizing that men and women are navigating new expectations and responsibilities, it is essential to cultivate gender understanding and respect as society continues to evolve. Although these shifts may be unsettling, they also present a chance for development and improved relationship equity. Individuals can collaborate to form partnerships that are more balanced and fulfilling, where both partners feel valued and supported, if they accept these changes. More equitable and harmonious relationships can be achieved through this mutual adaptation and respect, paving the way for a future in which gender roles are flexible and men and women can thrive in all aspects of life. And that concludes today's discussion on MGTOW Voice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on future videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.